dark. And how do I do the lights now? Because we used to be able to just put them up and use low grade and just have them run. Well, now we have powered lights, and more importantly, we now have automatic powered lights, or at least that's what this circuit is. And what it's going to do is use this solar panel as a sensor to detect whether it's night or day, and then charge your battery or deplete your battery, and then turning on your lights. We'll also show you how to set this up with a heater and lights, so if you're living in the winter biome, this can be especially useful. So, again, the circuit is set up in such a way where the solar panels detect whether or not there's electricity, so daytime or nighttime. Going here to the branch, so on the left-hand side, it's going off to the yellow cable, hitting the blocker. So when that has a signal, it will stop the power from going from red to green, which in turn is turning on the lights. And so the remainder of power goes off the branch to the right, the light blue, and then charges the battery. So since we don't have any charge coming in right now, there's nothing being charged, but yet the blocker is being unblocked and then sending the power through the red cable to the green and then setting off the light. Alright, so we're going to do the same circuit over here, and I was hoping we catch it during night and day and have this automatically go on and off, but we can actually simulate that now. So if we lose a signal, oh wait, no, we'd have to get a signal from somewhere else, never mind. I guess we got to do it when it's daytime, because I'm like, the light's already on, duh, what am I doing? Okay, so what you're first going to need are solar panels. At least one solar panel, because it is required for this. We do have them going into a root combiner. We have them set at the optimal locations for both night and day. I would recommend doing that if you want a full bore sensor. So evening is southwest, morning is northeast. That's just the way it is on the island of Rust. I'll try to turn on my overhead lamp as well. You will need a branch, a car battery, which is pretty easy to craft, a blocker, which is 20 scrap as well, and then a light. You can buy both the light and the heater at the bandit camp. I'm sorry, outpost. What am I saying? So go ahead and place the light here. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my headlamp for a second. Hopefully that's not too obnoxious. We're going to take this over on this side from the lamp, from the root combiner over to the battery itself. I'm sorry, the branch. Now we're going to take a yellow cable from the left side of the branch, and no need to configure this because the standard amount of power will do you just fine. I'm going to try to do it just like that. Is that a bit easier to see? So you can see it off to the left. So now that's the main power that comes into the branch, and then the remainder of power, which is going to be this light blue cable, then they go off into the blue node on top of the car battery. So that's the input, but right now there is no input. Then we're going to take a red cable that comes off of the red node here in the front, and then this goes right into the blocker. Blockers work just the way they say they are going to. When power is coming in on the left-hand side of the blocker, it is going to block the signal. But when it's not getting power, it lets the power through from the bottom to the top. I know, it sounds a little confusing, but once you do it inside of Builder's Paradise, it's not too bad. So then we're going to take this bad boy and then bring it all the way up to the top. Candle lamp is the best. You know what? We might try the candle lamp here in a second. Hey, we got a charge. All right. So you can see that the solar panels are the sensor for night or day. So since there's no power coming in, nothing's getting split here. And what happens is the blockers will work in such a way, again, where if there's power going through on this yellow cable on the left-hand side, it will stop the power from going from red to green, from bottom to top. And so since there's no signal here, it's because there's no power coming in, because clearly it's daytime, or nighttime, geez. The blocker is unblocked. So you're like, where's the power coming from? Well, it's coming from the battery down here. So it's depleting, and it has roughly 49 minutes for it to go. We're going to go ahead and craft a candle torch in the hopes that it makes it just a little bit more bearable for this. And now, so here's the other thing, too. You can use this with a heater, because a car battery doesn't require, or it doesn't have too much power, but these don't require too much either. And if you think about it, if you're in the winter biome, 9 times out of 10 you're going to need the heater anyways at nighttime because, you know, winter biome. So what we can do here is we can actually begin to put this through. Let's just make it orange. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. And I think our main is over here. And then these all have a pass-through, which makes it incredibly useful. And so what's going to happen is these will only turn on when it's nighttime. So think about it. When you need light is probably when you need heat. So these both will turn on at the same time for you. And you're saving that precious power because it is a resource, a very, very valuable resource. Yeah, that's a little better. Although that light's making it pretty bright. So there you go. That's the heater, the automatic light happening in Rust Console Edition. You can do this today, and more importantly, you can try this over on Builder's Paradise.